Hi, my name is Ryan Fleming and I'm here with Sony's PlayStation Vita. Now, if you follow gaming at all, you're probably at least passingly familiar with the Vita. It's Sony's follow-up to the PSP, and it was already released in Japan in December. Since then, it's sold about 500,000 units around the world or so, and it has its North American release this week. When it hits shelves here, you're going to see two separate units available. First is going to be the Wi-Fi only version. That one will run you about $249 or so. The second one is going to be a Wi-Fi and 3G unit. That one will cost about $299 and require an AT&T data plan. Whichever unit you do go for, though, be prepared. You're going to have a bit of a sticker shock because there are going to be some extra things you have to buy to really get the most out of your Vita. More on that in a minute, though. Now, the first thing about the Vita is, of course, the size. It's a handheld device, so it needs to be small, lightweight, and compact. It measures 7.2 inches by 3.3 by 0.7 inches and weighs just around 9 ounces or so. So while you can throw it in a pocket, it would have to be a fairly big pocket. Also, we wouldn't recommend you do that because you could end up damaging the OLED screen. The 5-inch OLED screen has a 960 by 544 resolution and can display 16 million colors. Really, there is nothing on the market with this type of device. There's no other handheld that really even comes close to the clarity of this screen. Even the new devices you're seeing coming out with the tablets can't quite measure up. That makes it great for streaming video as well, and of course playing games, which this device is made for. Now, as you can see, the device also has two dual analog sticks, a D-pad, a 4-button configuration, start and select buttons, 2 trigger buttons, and something unique to the Vita. It has a trackpad on the back that is both pressure sensitive and you can use the entire surface. Really, that's going to come out to how clever the developers are. It's a great idea and it's well incorporated, but we're going to have to see what the developers think up to how effective it really is. The screen is also a touchpad, so together the front and back end up acting almost like another button in themselves. Now, as for the software that's preloaded, it is going to be Sony software, which means that almost certainly as soon as you connect online, you'll need an update. Hopefully, those updates will be few and far between, but there are a few things we are looking for in future updates. One thing that will be available on launch day that was not available with our review unit is a few of the social apps, including Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, things like that. We're also hoping that the web browser, which right now will display full pages as opposed to mobile, we're hoping that a future firmware update will include HTML5 and Flash. Right now it does not support either, and it is kind of an issue. As for the rest of the device, or the programs installed with the Vita, you're going to see Near, which is a device that will, or a program that will let you find other Vita users nearby and connect with them. Party, which will allow you to join a group and chat with them using a Bluetooth headset, then join in a game together. And the PS Store, which will allow you to scan through the common PS content that if you have a PS3 you're already familiar with. Now, as for the rest of it, you will of course have a video, a music, a camera, and a few other things. If you do want the video to work though, there is going to be a catch. Once you connect it to your PC, you will need to use the Content Manager first, which is going to be included in the Vita, but you will need to install it. It's kind of an odd little hoop you have to jump through. It's not that big a deal though. The bigger issue though is that the video will only recognize MPEG-4 and H.264 video files. So all those AVI files you have in your computer are not going to work. Music shouldn't be any real issue though. It plays MP3s, AACs, WAV files, pretty much all the standard formats that you would expect. Now, as for the camera, there is a front-facing camera right here, as well as one on the back right here. The problem is the resolution on both of these is not that high. It has a 0.3 megapixel sensor, which means that really there's not going to be too many occasions that you're going to want to use it for actual pictures. It can take video though, and with that camera you can use it for augmented reality games. The front-facing camera will of course also be great for things where you yourself are involved, most notably Skype. That is an addition that's coming soon. It's one we're actually very much looking forward to. But all of that is really just the bells and whistles that make this more of a mainstream device as Sony's hoping. At its core though, it really is a gaming device. It's made for hardcore gamers. Now, there's been a lot of talk about how it is cross-compatible with PlayStation, and that is true to a small degree. You're going to need certain games that will allow you to play between them, but in general, the quality of the games is going to be close to maybe early PS3 games. At the moment, though, the graphics are not as much as the issue as the amount you can do. So we're going to have to wait and see. For right now, though, the clarity of the graphics, the amount you can do, the games coming out, there are 25 launch titles. It's really pretty incredible. Now, as for the cost associated, this is where Sony is going to really get you. $250 is already a fairly steep amount for a new device, but it's right around where the 3DS was when that came out as well. Of course, that didn't pan out too well for them, but the 3DS had a lot less to offer. What Sony is going to get you on is this right here. This is the proprietary memory card that you will need if you want to store any games, any video, or anything else. Now, as you can see, it's basically just a micro SD card that is stamped Sony PS Vita. These will run you more than a standard micro SD card, and you do need to buy them directly from Sony. If you want the 4 gig, it's going to cost you $19.99. The 8 gig is $29.99. The 16 gig is $59.99, while the largest one available, the 32 gig, is $99.99. When you compare that to a standard 32 gig SD micro card, which costs about $25, you kind of see where Sony is making their money. Now, the other thing that you'll have to be aware of is that the Vita does require physical discs, or in this case, physical cards for the games. They are unique. They're roughly about the size of a flash card, and they do slide in right there. The Vita also has an accessory port on the top, right there, as well as a USB slot on the bottom and a headphone jack. Now, again, the whole thing that it's going to come down to is what you use this device for. If you're hoping for a new type of tablet, you're going to be a bit out of luck. There are better and cheaper versions out there. If, however, you are looking for a new handheld gaming unit, something that just blows everything else out of the way, this is the device for you. There really is nothing else even close if you are a hardcore gamer. So if that is your aspiration, if that's what you want, look no further than the Sony Vita. Thanks.